Para yatırmadan oynayabileceğiniz 500 Azerbaycan manatı hediye ediyoruz. Ücretsiz oynayın ve Zeus vs Hades oyununda 250 ücretsiz dönüş kazanın. Ödemeler doğrudan banka kartınıza yapılır. Her şey resmi ve güvenlidir. Kazanma şansınızı kaçırmayın. Bu teklif sınırlı bir süre için geçerlidir.
We are on the Kern River Preserve. It's beautiful to walk on the preserve this time of year. The mornings are really cool. This time of year is also amazing because you're hearing all the bird song earlier in the morning. The willow flycatcher is this small plain bird, and it flies around and catches flies because that's the type of insect it eats the most. And it nests near rivers or creeks. Knowing their vocalizations is key to doing the research because otherwise you'd rarely see them if you didn't. They say what the flycatchers do is fits spew. You wouldn't even call it a song, really. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't sound bad. I love it when I hear it because it means there's a willow flycatcher nearby, so definitely. I've lived here in the Kern River Valley since the winter of 1990. When I first started working here, there were more willow flycatchers, and now it's down to about, as far as we know at this point in time, one individual. That's all we know of right now, and it's kind of depressing.
As a whole, Impidinax trailii, the willow flycatcher, is not endangered. In fact, it's relatively abundant in North America. However, the subspecies that inhabits the southwestern United States is federally endangered because of rapid and steep population declines over the latter half of the 20th century.
Basically, I view the willow flycatcher as a canary in a coal mine. It's not doing well, so why is it not doing well here? And if you can solve that for the willow flycatcher, it's probably going to prevent other bird species from having the same problems later on.
In the U.S., there's roughly 100 species of neotropical migratory bird that are either threatened, endangered, or a species of special concern.
A neotropical migrant is a bird that breeds in North America and then migrates south of the U.S. border into the neotropics. Before I really began to study migration in detail, I tended to think of these birds as our birds. They're in the North American Field Guide. They must be North American birds, right? But they spend, in most cases, more than half the year south of the U.S. border. Of the nearly 800 species of birds that breed in North America, about half migrate into the neotropics. It's a huge number. So if you observe that a migratory bird species is declining, one of the first questions you have to ask is whether it's declining due to factors on the breeding grounds in North America, the wintering grounds in the neotropics, or somewhere in between, or a combination of those.
The main reason why it's hard to figure out why some of these species are in trouble is because they're only in our backyards for, say, 3 months of the year. And the rest of the time we don't know where they're going, so we don't know what threats they're facing in those areas. In order to develop conservation strategies, we need to be able to identify how breeding and wintering populations are linked. So migratory bird conservation has to be a collaborative effort with biologists all over Latin America.
Sí, sacar pájaros de la red es una de mis cosas favoritas porque se puede tener mucha información con el pajarito ya en la mano. Si es ornitólogo, sí, tiene razón. Un pájaro en mano vale más que 100 volando. Ese es el dicho. Sí.
More than 220 species of birds actually migrate mostly from North America to Costa Rica. Birds know no borders. They don't understand these boundaries between countries. They simply use ecosystems.
There are huge networks of people that do bird banding all over the Western Hemisphere. So you capture the birds in a mist net and you put a little metal leg band on the bird, and then you hope to recapture that bird at some other point in its annual cycle. But the recapture rates are incredibly low. They're less than 1%. So our thought was, well, if we could develop a technology that could use